Hi guys, Tiffany from Requiem Paranormal here. I'm finally here and I finally finished the video. I wanted to take a second just to say a few things. I'm putting this video out with the utmost respect for the bio family, okay? So there's a couple things that I had to clip out of respect. So you'll see a transition point. It's not that I was hiding anything. It's all out of respect for the family. Also, we won't be mentioning names because these things and the information that we hold is quote unquote alleged. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there. And I also wanted to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Everybody that has came over to my channel and subscribed, liked, commented, shared, all of that is greatly appreciated. I am so thankful for all of the people coming in and giving me their insight and, information they've gotten from another channel, things like that. That helps me to connect the dots, guys. It really, really helps me. So I wanted to thank you guys for that. I also want to take a second to thank Katrina. I know it's so hard for her. It's draining, it's emotional, and these images, they kind of get burned in her mind, So I just want to thank you, Katrina, for everything that you're putting into this case as well, because it means the world to a lot of people. So with that being said, I want to get this video rolling. I know it's been a minute, so here we go, guys.
Missing persons of two little boys that I just contacted you and told you some of the stuff that I was getting from them, and you took notes. So I thought it'd be best to go ahead and record.
Yes, and their names are Orrin and Orson West, and their birth names though were classic and sincere.
Wow,
Aren't
interesting.
those cute? Aren't those nice names?
Yeah.
I thought they were amazing. I love it.
Hey, can y'all highlight the other day? Can y'all go back over the other day before you get where we were
Oh,
on
yeah.
and she was telling you this stuff and how you validated it? Do you think that would be good to start off with? Because that was amazing. The validation friggin' she told me in the cars was amazing, man. Valerie, marks on their face, Katrina hit it all. It It was really crazy. Yeah.
It-
Okay. Maybe start off recapping that because that's also awesome, and then go from there. What do you think, Katrina?
I think it's great. Go ahead, Tiffany.
So it started out, like I said, tell everybody, Katrina hasn't seen none of my videos. She hasn't been following this story. She's came across it. She's seen, the picture of the boys, but that's about it. She
Sure.
hasn't gone in at all. So we started talking and she said that she wanted to help with it. And so I actually sent over it started with me sending photos over to her of the adoptive parents, and then the grandparents and all of the kids. And the first thing she did was circle the adoptive father, and she said, "Who is this?" "That's him." And I said, "Well, that's the father." Can you go shut the door for me, baby? The back door. So that's when it all started. As soon as we went in there, everything started kind of flowing for Katrina.
We were doing it through Messenger too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she mentioned, trying to think of, she said, well, abuse number one, that came to her off of the bat, the abuse, sexual abuse, physical
Homophobia.
abuse.
I definitely
Homophobia.
saw homophobia going on somewhere along
Yes.
the line.
The marks on their bodies where they
Yeah,
were.
okay. So she also mentioned on the little one, him having a mark on his torso near his rib area. I believe it was the left side, Katrina said. And I was able to validate through a family member that she asked the mother, and the mother said, yes, he had a birthmark right there. It was very tiny, but it's there, and it's in the shape of a heart, actually. So
Wow. I don't
Yes.
remember saying that, but I didn't know if it was a burn or a mark.
yes,
I also knew that he had a lisp. It was it was very, very noticeable of the way he was talking, but he had no teeth.
so come to find out, the thing with that is the baby, for some reason, he understands everything, but he was having trouble talking. So he was actually learning sign language
Wow.
to
That's
help
how
him to
bad
communicate.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't talk very much, if not at all. So
And I was very clear. I find him rolled up in like a ball in a backpack or some kind of material. And I do believe that he's underneath a newly planted tree. And what was interesting is I kept seeing little plaques on the ground, like they were describing birds or habitat type of thing. And I saw the brown sign, the S shape, which may not be a road per se.
right, it could just you're right.
Riding your bike type of road or like a path, but I definitely seen the S shape of it. I
Right.
truly believe that where the sign is, I count like the third or fourth tree in is where he would be of interest. And there was no doubt when I spoke to you, I was not getting both boys.
No,
One.
not at that time.
During that.
And the little boy, the little one, he definitely had this small little dump truck with him.
And I even I remember how I said I could have sworn I seen a video that in the trash can they found a dump truck, like a box, like the leftovers of the toy, the
Right.
boxing. And I validated today that yes, that was in the trash. So it wasn't given to him by the bio mom, but it could have been something given to him by the adoptive parents. 'Cause
Right.
that was in the trash. So
I would have to say everything that's come up so far, there was no doubt in my mind the little one is gone, but I was really worried. Now, yesterday, you and I spoke on video with Rhodey and Tiffany, and it was the hardest which is another reason why I don't step into missing person cases. It's so draining, so emotional, and not to be able to do something just absolutely gets my goat. And
right.
I was on, let me walk this through to the people because it was so emotional. We were talking about the validations of the prior talk of the
Yes.
little one. When
Yes.
all of a sudden, the little one brought me to his brother. Now they're not together, but in spirit, you can go wherever you want.
Wherever you please. Yep.
And the little boy I saw a scar on his cheek off to
I
the
was able
side.
to validate that. She said that they actually, when they were looking through photos, they noticed in a picture, so the adoptive father's brother took a picture with that little boy, and they noticed on the side of his jaw area right here, a scar. He never had that when he was with them, but that is something that they noticed.
It's interesting you said the adopted father's brother. I brought that up to you too.
Yes.
In the paperwork, that I felt like there had something to do with a sibling.
Yeah.
And the gayness. I definitely feel like whether they saw something or they didn't like it, and after you informed me some of the stuff that you're aware of, Tiffany, pardon me. You know, a person, and right here, our very own gay girl, Rode.
Yes.
Great pride. We do know that there is so many people out there that will hide what they're doing. They'll state that they're straight. Apparently, this guy is in a relationship. But what if he has been dipping into that with these? It's so sad to
I've
find
heard some
out.
things about. I've heard a few things about the adoptive dad's father dipping back in his day.
Wow.
So, and possibly like a part of an occult type of thing, and like, doing that weird sex stuff. Like, I'm just being honest.
I didn't see any teeth in the little boy, the little one.
See that? So what if they tried to take his teeth out so they couldn't identify him?
That's right.
I'm not sure. I just know that there's no teeth in the littlest boy. Now, getting back to yesterday.
Yes.
We were talking, and at that moment, the little brother was able to bring me immediately to his other brother, and
Yep.
It sounded like a boat. It sounded like they were on a boat, and that's when Tiffany said,
I seen a video, and I was actually talking to a family member today, and she's never seen that video, and I have to find it. Somebody found, this lady came forward and mentioned that she saw the adoptive dad in the desert talking to somebody next to a boat.
so there's another. Now, while we're talking, another thing that I was able to see. It was like I was there. I know that sounds so crazy because I was able to describe there was two men.
Yes.
They were speaking Spanish. There's no doubt in my mind. That's exactly
I've
what
gotten
I
that
saw.
on my box. I've gotten Spanish, and I'm like, why? But then the wife, the adoptive mom, she's Spanish. She's Mexican. So I'm wondering if maybe she knew some of her people that could, handle that part for them.
It's quite possibility. Another thing that I did see is that the older boy was very thin. There was no doubt in my mind he was very dehydrated. It was.
Oh.
He couldn't even cry. You were saying he was.
That's why I said yes.
Yeah, no tears.
No tears for crying.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so sad. And it was like a crate, kind of like when you're going off to the side of the road and they're selling oranges, or apples, and there's a double crate kind. It's very small.
Yes.
I heard them talking. Yep. And then the next thing I can tell you without a doubt, I think that when they find this little boy, I do believe there's going to be water in his lungs, because there's no doubt that he was dropped while we were talking into the water. and it's not real deep. I felt like I hit the bottom. So I'm guessing like maybe 10 or 12 feet worth of water. It went very quickly. Or something I can't think that they would have any weights to be able to put inside with him because but it could be on the outside. I don't know, but it went quick.
Right.
Very quick. So,
and you also mentioned that the boat had white interior with a little bit of red. I remember that too.
Oh, thank you. Because I don't really remember the details as I'm sitting there. I do remember going up. I also know that the place in question looks like a crater. I keep going towards Arizona because I recognize the Tarrant. So it's not that it's got to be, but it's similar.
I was thinking about Lake Havasu just because of
Oh, yeah.
just because of how the body of water is in a crater.
Yes.
Wow.
But another thing that I remember too is that I described to you the bridge. It looked like the Golden Gate Bridge, but it was smaller than that. And so my son was listening to me too, and he came up with a great thing. Pipelines, that go across above the water will have those, and he showed us a picture that looks like it. So I'm going to go more on that lines because I
actually found some spots all over, so in different parts of Arizona, right? Because you also mentioned like it's like hills on both, like it's in the canyons type of deal, right? Like there's two things on each side. So I found a couple spots, and there's this one that I'm really drawn to because of the bridge, how it is, how you said, like, you don't see how vehicles could go across it, but people can. People can walk across
that's another one. I just didn't, because I was also trying to see if maybe it was a train one, but it didn't look like it could support such weight.
Yeah, so I looked up bridges in Arizona, and I just kept going through each of them. And I actually found this particular spot because you said that there is a bike rack.
Yes.
There's a restroom type spot.
Where
there's
male
also,
and female.
Yes, there's also a boat docking area.
Yes.
And then off to that side over there is where that bridge is. And yes.
Okay.
So it could possibly be. And then you did mention some woods, like off to the side, and it has all of that. I'd have to go in my phone actually to look and see where I found that at. But it was on the Colorado River. It was along the Colorado River. And then there's that bridge, that little skinny bridge that goes across, but it has those loops like that bridge, like you're talking about, the loopy things. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, can I ask something real quick? You also said, Tiffany, after she said, you let her know, I guess today, something about wood shavings or something might go along with that crate. And what
I sent Katrina a photo, actually, I received, because I told her what you had said, about the crates and everything. And she said, when we got off the phone, she's like, I'm going to send you photos. We saw them crates. Okay. So I sent the photo to Katrina, and they're little, it looks like a homemade grave is what it looks like a little coffin. It's a little square, but you know what I mean? To me, I just seen them, and I just thought it like that's just like their deathbed or something, it's
now,
like.
Tiffany, I want to get this clarified. You are speaking with a family member, correct?
Yes.
Secondly, these photos, have they circulated the internet, or are these some that's been given to you?
No, I've never seen those photos.
I
follow everything
from the family member. So these are I just needed to make sure, because I think
they went in the back. They went to the house that this is at. This is at the adoptive parents' house. That's where. So the adoptive parents' house. So the grandma and grandpa's house. They are now staying there at that house with them because they can no longer stay at the the house where all of this supposedly, the kids went missing from.
There's pictures. There's definitely pictures. If they're in a register, like the off on the side, in the wall. That's where I feel like the register of where like when you are in a mobile home and the air comes up from the ground,
Yes.
from the side.
Yes.
It would be nice because I know that you and I had talked. I could take screenshots of what we spoke because it shares the actual date.
Yes.
It shares that we're not making up anything further, which is another reason why I wanted to share with you. Were any of those photos shared to the media? Because I think that's also that needs to be informed in the. I didn't see anything, and I've been trying to stay. And
I never saw those pictures, and that's why she said, "Well, she goes, do you want to see them?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And then she sent them over to me.
See, I also can do things by touching them, and Rhodey and I had spoke about that too, where maybe I might be able to touch an item of a missing person, and maybe we could get them before they're gone. It's so sad, but I'm just floored at the stuff that I was able to share with you, and how you've digged so deep to get the straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Yeah, that was my goal. I was like, because I kept talking to, other people and stuff, and it was just so wishy-washy, and I'm like, I can't do this. I got to get to somebody, and somehow somebody told her to come over to my channel.
All right.
And then that's when we started talking, and then I gave her my telephone number after we had talked for a little bit, and we did video call too. So I saw exactly who she was, and I've seen her on the news, so I know it was, you know what I mean? I know it was her. So
Remind me again, who picked you for the tribe? I did. She doesn't know me well enough
I'm
yet.
joking with you.
Wait a minute, we could have did a TikTok. Too bad we didn't know, because Valerie, Tiffany, and I both could have went.
You're doing a bang up job, kid, man. You're fucking doing an awesome job. Haversham, I know exactly, and it's in that might be the one where you saw the bathroom and everything, but
I'm trying to find I don't know where I saved the photos on here.
Well, here's another thing, that the last thing that Tiffany and I had text with each other, because we've been doing some voice calling. She asked me if the family knew where it could have occurred, from the old place or the new place. I don't feel like it's inside the building. I feel like it's in a small shack or a small, I feel like it's only big enough, the place that where it took place. I feel like it's only big enough for like a riding mower can get into. It's not very large, but it's longer, and I see.
So at first I thought it was the house where the boys came up missing from. But once I messaged the family member, she goes, "Oh my God, that makes," because they've been staking out watching them at this house that they're at. They ain't playing. They're watching their every moves, and so they noticed that they kept going in the back to this damn shed. Boom, boom, kept going back and forth. And that shed is just big enough to put a lawnmower in.
Okay, I'm supposed to I got a message from the boys. The oldest has got a message for his mommy.
Oh, thank God. Oh God. Okay.
I was telling Brody, I was hoping something like that would come in.
Yep.
He feels like he had something to do with them leaving this home. And now he knows that it had nothing to do with him. So
Good.
He wants her to know that he loves her. And there's something to do with this really small. It's about this size. It looks like it is a little teddy bear. It looks brown. Something that you would give to, like, and I'm not meaning this, that this boy is a animal, but like a toy you would give to your fur baby.
Yeah.
Very furry. I feel like he's had it when he was little. It's brown. It's got beige on the ends of the teddy bear's hands go straight out kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she recognizes this, and
I'm sure she will.
and you know, there's another thing that has to do with his tennis shoes. He's talking about that he got them dirty.
Okay.
But it wasn't very good. Remember, I told you that he didn't have any clothes on him when I saw him. That he was in underwear, guys.
Yes.
We'll take this aside, but I think that there's a tennis shoe that would not be found. Something about a tennis shoe. It might have been what started the anger. I don't know, but
Okay.
but they are with their grandmother.
Yeah.
Even though they got different fathers, there's still a love that I would treat a child as if they were my own, because there's a compassion. So
that's so funny you're even saying that, because on my box she said, "These are my babies." She said that.
I do. I feel like they both knew her in that same way, regardless. And blood is not what takes it. It's about love.
Right.
Yep.
So there's some areas here that is man, there's some stuff that's coming through that I'm not sure I want that to be put on the because I'm seeing a little boy that is learning or having trouble peeing in the toilet and being punished for it.
Oh my, I knew it. Now I'm about to cry. I knew it. In the box, that baby kept saying over and over again, "I have to pee. I'm sorry I peed. I have to pee." And that's why I said I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
These are certain things. You know, while we're on the phone, because I know how to do this, send me a picture of the boys with them together, and I can put it up right now in our video, so we can at least, you know, pay tribute to
I got
them.
you.
Yeah.
I got you. We'll do that.
But I definitely have the bigger boy. I feel like he felt like everything was his fault. You know, so he's knowing that that's not the case. He knows that his mom loves him. And you know what? He shows me that there is a candle, one on each side. One is a little bit taller than the other that's being burnt. It's exactly 5 after 5 my time right now. Well, 5 o'clock, today's date. I feel like there's one that is just about to burn out, and they light another one. And I hope that this is something that can be confirmed with the family, because this is about coexistence.
Oh, they've been lighting candles for the boys.
But at this moment, this is the moment where they lit another one, because one was about to go out. And I think that is a very important thing. And you, Valerie, Brody, both of you guys know that my timing has a lot to do with stuff. So I want it's being shown right now. And it looks like there's a dark border in the background, as if I'm looking at like a like maybe maple wood, or a dark wood that is stained.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a mantle, the two, and their pictures are on either side of the candles. The candles are in the middle, and the two pictures are on the other side of those. And there's
so is this in a home? In a home? Okay.
Yes, this is inside their house, and I believe it's a dark paneling type of honest to goodness, I'd have to say, if I was to choose, it kind of reminds me of like in a trailer, you know, like a mobile home would have kind of paneling, is what I'm saying.
I got you. That wouldn't. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Is that the mother or the stepmother that he loves? Who's the who's, you say his mother?
His bio mom.
His bio mom. They're talking about their mom.
They were taken away from her, right?
Yes.
However, he knows that it wasn't his fault. He's sorry. But he felt that when they left, like it was him.
Right.
But the adoptive parents are the one that it was on their watch this happened.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of love going on that side. And I'm going to say the way the adoptive mom appears to me in the eyes of these boys in heaven, she's a bipolar lady. It's like all lovey-dovey, and then slam, you wouldn't know what had happened, which might be the dirty of his shoes. I don't know.
Her getting upset over a little thing.
And total different person out of nowhere. That's what kind of behavior I see. So you being able to talk with them, maybe they might know somebody that's connected to the adopted family that knows her personality.
The thing is, so we were just talking about that. They can't get much about her for some reason.
I can tell you that whoever had a hand into it, there is a tattoo on the inside right wrist.
Okay. That's big. That's big.
Yep. That is really
now. Big. I want to say that to me, it looks more on a feminine line because of the wrist looking, but it could be a thinner fella,
And he is thin. The adoptive father is very thin.
And what's interesting, another placement of it, I don't feel like the placement is further towards here. I feel like it's
more up here.
Yeah, right up into the wrist, and then it's just there.
Okay. All right.
But it's whoever's involved. So also the two Hispanics that dumped him.
Yeah. I soon as I mentioned those two Hispanics, the family member, she said exactly what I said. She goes, well, the adoptive mom is Mexican. And
what about Dominion? Is that the right word?
Dominican?
Yeah, Dominican.
Could be, could possibly. There's it's some type of Spanish in there.
That's what it sounds like to me when I heard their thing. I'm going to go more on that line.
Okay.
More like Dominican or something, because the hair looks also quite like mine, very, very, very curly and dark. Isn't that Dominican?
Yes.
Aren't they known to have more textured hair?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I'm choosing that. That's what I'm thinking. But what's interesting is that the little boy doesn't recognize the two. So he doesn't know the two that dropped him.
Okay. And you know what? That's there was also a mentioning
Trade
about a woman supposedly taking the boys to these two men.
I wonder if she's got one of those.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if
there's no doubt this is very important.
Yes, that is. I feel it.
Very precise.
Yeah.
It's very. I wonder if it could be a yin or yang sign or something. It looks round.
Okay.
A circle.
I was also wondering too if you're able to pick up on any of this. Like, so once the one passed away, right? Did the other one stay in the home for a little bit, or like did they get like?
No, they were removed at the same time.
Okay.
They both left at the same time. There's no doubt in my mind that the older boy saw his little brother gone.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
And there's also so in that backyard, that's those pictures I sent you with the crates and stuff, and then the shed. There's also, I was getting stuff on my box, something about burning something, right? And they took out the back seat to the van and burned a spot in the seat.
Blood, huh?
That's what I
Forensics
think.
wouldn't be able to do that, would they? They wouldn't be able to get it off of, if it was burned.
They wouldn't.
They haven't even gone over to this, because this is the grandparents' house. So
They're not investigating all property.
No.
Wow. That's a
Nope.
That's ludicrous. That is
Crazy.
Like I told you, it looked like there might be some connection with knowing the system here, and
they do, because
money.
they do. So the grandmother, she worked for the state for, I mean, it was like what, 20 some odd years. Okay, it worked for CPS, and she does fostering herself. And then also the adoptive mother, her mother is into fostering too. So they know the system.
They do.
I'm missing the point. Okay, they know the system. What is
Because what it is so many people. My Pat, my ex-husband, he was part of the system, and they only took him in for money. Yep. And they have others. They were even using his Social Security at 3 years old, stating that he was making money. It's ways of them knowing the system. Rhodey, do you remember when I talked to you and said that we were going to go to a certain town, and it was going to be against the law, but I knew of someone that took in children, and this little girl was killed, and I was able to identify her, and she is buried in the backyard. And because she couldn't talk or anything and she had troubles, they just said she ran away. That's what we mean by knowing the system, sweetheart.
But you mean that's why the police are, but y'all are talking about the police not investigating everywhere. Then you're saying the police aren't investigating as hard because they're foster kids?
That should no, I don't mean that. I just mean that I'm appalled that they haven't checked. I'm talking about
it's very weird.
Oh, I thought there was a tie-in between the people working at CPS and the police. Okay, no, I missed. Okay.
And I just got it up there. I was able to do it on my phone.
Yes, awesome.
This way we can have the little boys visible throughout the conversation. And it's the one on the right, the oldest. He's making it so clear that he was sorry, but he's much better where he is now. And I am so thankful. There's no doubt that there's water involved with him. Yes. And I'm going to put it out there. And I know that this is scary, guys, but I think they'll even find water in his lungs.
Do you see him getting found?
No, I can't predict what other people might do. That's in the hands of the others. I'm hoping we can have something to do to help them.
Right.
But I just, because to me, I still felt like he was conscious when we were talking.
When he went down.
That's why I believe that water's got to be in the lungs, which would be another confirmation of us connecting with these souls.
Right.